Phil Hellmuth is looking down at ace-6 offsuit. Pre-flop begins with a sequence that feels standard on the surface, but hints at the chaotic dynamic Hellmuth brings to the table.
You get any threes?
Phil opens to 2,000 with ace-6 offsuit, a hand that is technically an opener in this format, but creates massive reverse implied odds when deep stacked.
Thought you were done with that move.
No, I'm not done with this move. 2K's perfect.
Fishman, true to his name, plays passively by just flatting pocket tens, a hand that screams for a squeeze play here, and this invites Williams to come along with queen-jack offsuit. Williams has a hand that plays well multi-way, but by letting three players see a flop, the table has created a scenario where hand strengths will be muddy and Phil's aggression will likely overcompensate for his marginal holding.
Oh, you guys have fun.
Yep.
Joe and I will play pinochle over here.
The flop hits everyone just enough to be dangerous. Williams flops top pair. Fishman has an overpair to the 6 but is blocked by the jack, and Hellmuth finds bottom pair. Here is where the poker brat logic takes over. Instead of checking to the pre-flop caller or playing pot control with a weak pair, Phil leads out for 6,600. It is a protection bet gone wrong. He is trying to end the hand immediately, fearing overcards.
Dave, how much you got behind?
75,000.
75?
The LC's got Hellmuth, but he's a dog to Williams.
And you got me covered, right?
I think so.
I'm almost... Oh, I feel so strongly that I have you.
Right read on Phil.
So strongly. But I don't know what that Dave's doing behind me. What is he coming in with? Oh, man. It's gonna be my first really good or really bad play of the night that everybody gets to see.
When Fishman folds, Williams makes the disciplined call. David knows that Phil is capable of stabbing here with pure air or draws, and raising would only isolate him against better hands. By just calling, Williams keeps Hellmuth's bluffs alive, a textbook float with top pair. The turn comes the 8, changing nothing structurally, and Hellmuth decides to turn his hand into a polarizing sledgehammer. He fires 20,000, a massive overbet relative to his actual hand strength. This is where Phil gets himself into trouble. He is effectively turning a hand with showdown value into a bluff.
I'm starting to feel a little better about my decision.
Williams realizes he is likely ahead of everything except a random set of 3s or 8s, so he pays to see the river, confident that Phil is splashing around with a draw or a weaker made hand.
Phil shows, so does Dave.
I knew it was David that had to
You
worry
will
about.
see that hand fling him again.
I knew I had nothing to worry about with him.
By the way, that was a strong call, kid. So I gotta say, I'm folding that for 29.
Beat that one guy. Got the f***ing calling station as a jack.
The calling station. You're not David. You're the calling station. The businessman, the calling
He's
station.
the guy that's going to give me 50,000 for no reason, Dave is. Plays every hand.
Dave, pick up your head because you've picked up your game. You're in Profitville.
I really like watching you guys make these high-level genius plays because someday I aspire to do them too, and I'm being this close.
That was 5 levels above me right there.
No. Actually, I never try to bluff David. I rarely do. But he's just a complete calling station. Dude, you're the biggest calling station at the table.
Joe Cata, look to your left. That's your future.
He would have folded the river. I know you would have folded the river because he called the 20 to see what you do on the river, right?
Yeah, I thought I had the best hand. I mean, that's why I'm frustrated. He's played every pot against me. How can he show up with a jack?
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at ace-9 offsuit. Pre-flop. This is another hand that looks harmless on the surface but quietly lays the trap. Martinez opens with a perfectly reasonable raise with a suited connector that can smash a lot of boards. Hellmuth just flats, which already puts him in an awkward spot.
This is one of the best thing we have. Did you like it?
Minieri peels happy to set mine and play a small pair in position, and Perkins closes the action in the blinds, getting a big price.
Tweak.
Italy was the first place I went where I bought pizza by the kilogram. They weighed it, and they said, oh, you have 180, whatever.
The flop looks dry to Hellmuth, but is extremely live for the field. Perkins checks, and Martinez decides to check as well,
This is the Phil lock check. No, notice
He's two-handed check.
sometimes he likes this. I like that little.
controlling the pot with just 2 overcards and an open-ended straight. When the action gets to him, Hellmuth seizes the chance to bluff c-bet and fires 4,200. He has 2 overcards and some straight equity with the 9, and his bet folds out exactly the kind of weak holdings you expect from the blinds and from Minieri. That part works. Minieri and Perkins both get out of the way. Martinez, however, is never folding. His hand has a ton of equity against a single C betting range, and check calling keeps all of Hellmuth's bluffs and thin value hands alive while disguising his own draw. The turn is the disaster card for Hellmuth and the dream card for Martinez.
12,800. I'll take this one now. You fold. I win.
I know.
Against that range, Martinez is thrilled to call. He is ahead of all the bluffs and semi-bluffs, ahead of any 8x that decided to stab, and still has redraws even when Hellmuth happens to have a big hand. The river pairs the board with the 7. Having let Hellmuth drive the action on both flop and turn, Martinez finally leads for 15,500 into a big pot. It is a classic blocker-looking value bet designed to get paid by exactly the kind of overpairs and stubborn one-pair hands Hellmuth likes to hero call with. Hellmuth, though, goes one level too far. With ace-9, he has nothing but ace-high and a missed straight draw.
Raise it. 45,000.
And instead of giving up, he turns it into a bluff, raising to 60,500, trying to represent a monster, 7, or a slow-played set. The problem is that Martinez's line is far more consistent with a strong made hand than with a bluff. Martinez thinks it through.
Please don't have forceful.
What you got?
Huh?
What you got?
If this was your hand, how are you playing it? Comment it below and let's compare different ways to play this out.
You got fourth?
I might have forceful. I might not.
Okay, call.
Wow.
Good call. You win.
Oh my God, what is going on? What is going on?
Tilt
oh my
juice!
God.
Get the tilt juice out for
hand, bro.
everyone. Have
Thank
a
you.
little sip.
Crank it up.
I can't make that call.
So sick.
I can't make that call. No, I can't make that call.
broke
No,
bet.
he bet 15,000 with the 10.
I broke bet, so you can raise and bluff.
I'm steaming now.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
got some. Me and you
I
on
know.
tilt.
Now I know. I mean, it's so brutal because now I know he's going to lose all his money to one of you guys, and I might go broke in the meantime. He put in 70,000 with top pair. I haven't seen that in a cash game in 2 years.
That was good though.
He was right, but I haven't seen that in 2 years.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at pocket queens. Pre-flop, this is one of those classic big pair collision spots where the trap is sprung before a flop is even dealt. Hellmuth opens to 800 with completely standard and absolutely expecting to be ahead of most of the table.
I have the button. I shouldn't even look. I should just decide I'm gonna win. Oh, I don't have to decide I'm gonna win. I'm just gonna win.
Lock calls.
I'm just gonna win this one.
Lock flats, which already narrows him to a lot of medium-strength hands and some traps.
I bet the pot.
Bill Perkins comes in with the pot.
Little pottage.
Pottage in the cottage.
Pottage.
In the cottage.
That sizing is fine. It isolates the opener, punishes Lock's call, and announces a very strong range.
How much do you have there anyway?
What is it?
Nothing.
You keep saying not much, and this is a 25K chip, kid.
Nothing. I don't know.
Hellmuth looks down at queens, sees Lock's dead money in the middle and the wide public perception that Perkins can be splashy, and decides to...
All right, I raised the pot too.
Hi-ya!
It is a sizing that does 2 things at once. It tries to shut Leak out, and it tests Perkins to see whether he really has it or is just leaning on position.
What are my choices?
Ship it, call, or fold.
I re-raised the pot.
All right, I'm all in. I'm all in.
It's all in. Okay. Aces or?
I got queens.
I have kings.
Holy cow.
I mean, let's just run it once, I guess.
Go.
I decided in advance I'm only going to run it once today.
You know what? Poker should get back to this one-time thing. It's so manly. It's like the West. We're gonna go find gold and go into the West and run it one time.
6, 5, 8, all hearts. Turn. Ace of diamonds. 10 of clubs, and Perkins is going to double up.
Nice hand.
Thank you. Ta-da! I finally won a hand. I had maximum tilt juice. It was like overdrive.
I mean, the businessman, you know, he shows up with kings when he has 43,000. Come on. So ridiculous what happens to me in this game.
Hellmuth is looking down on 9-7 offsuit. He limps, which caps his range and invites someone to attack the dead money. Minieri obliges with an isolation raise using a suited king, a great candidate because it has blockers, plays well post-flop, and pushes the button on everyone who limped. Locke and Martinez come along, which pulls the SPR up and widens continuing ranges.
I get unstuck. I get off the tilt juice.
Hard to get off that tilt teat.
Hellmuth overcalls rather than 3-betting, a choice that keeps the pot manageable, preserves positional leverage against the razor, and allows weaker holdings to realize without facing a big pre-flop decision. This texture is excellent for the pre-flop aggressor. As the only player who routinely shows up with strong King X after raising, Minieri can c-bet profitably. The small sizing pressures ace high, punishes underpairs, and denies equity to random backdoors while risking little against slow-played traps. Hellmuth check calls instead of raising. That keeps bluffs firing, prevents the pot from ballooning versus the portion of Minieri's range that will not fold, and sets up a decision tree where Hellmuth can choose which turns to accelerate on. Multi-way callers have folded, so we are quickly moving toward a heads-up range battle that favors the in-position player's initiative and the out-of-position player's ability to trap. The second king super polarizes things. From Minieri's seat, this is a green light to barrel because his range contains far more King X than Hellmuth's limp call range. The bet around $5,300 targets exactly the hands that called once and hate life now, medium pairs and stubborn ace high, and it continues to build a pot in case he is ahead. Hellmuth's second check call is strategic. Raising isolates him against very strong holdings and folds out hands that might bluff again. Calling keeps his range wider, invites another polarized river bet, and protects the times he is bluff catching with decent showdown value. From a range math perspective, once the king pairs the pre-flop raiser's value density increases, which means the out-of-position player should avoid thin raises and lean into induce lines. Nothing material completes, so Minieri retains a nut advantage and chooses a large polar bet of $17,200. That sizing asks a capped range to overdefend, and it puts maximum pressure on one-pair type catchers that arrived here by calling twice.
Oh, man.
Hellmuth's final check call makes sense within that framework. He beats all the natural stabs that gave up drawing equity on the turn.
It's just unreal what happens to me at this place. I mean, I'm just so sick of it, you know? I mean,
I had the best on the chart, I had the best hand on the river.
What the is going on in this place? They do
What the is going on the river? How do you call it? You always think a
trips.
bluff, I only wait for the nuts.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at pocket jacks.
I don't like giving away 30 balls with ace-9. It's not my style. Ugh. Not my style, Joe.
I can't value you. I can't value from you. King.
Preflop creates a dynamic where Phil Hellmuth's cautious nature inadvertently invites disaster. Jungleman opens to 1,200 with King 6 suited, a loose, creative open typical of his style. Mike X, holding Ace-10 offsuit, puts in a 3-bet to 3,800. Hellmuth, sitting with pocket jacks, finds himself in a tricky spot. Rather than 4-betting to isolate and define his hand strength, Phil decides to just smooth call. This passivity invites Jungleman to come along for the ride, creating a 3-way pot where jacks are vulnerable to overcards and multi-way action. The flop is a mixed bag. It is a disaster for Hellmuth as the king hits Jungleman's range squarely. Jungleman has flopped top 2-pair kings and sixes. Mike X, the pre-flop aggressor, completely whiffs. The action checks to Mike X, who makes a standard continuation bet of 4,400. Hellmuth, now trapping himself, just calls with his underpair. He is stubborn, unwilling to believe the king hit anyone, but Jungleman is lying in wait. He check raises to 15,400. This is a massive power move. Mike X quickly folds his air. Hellmuth, however, interprets this raise differently.
He's just
what in the world do you have, Jungle? Mickey. You have what?
My name is Mickey.
What do you have, Mickey? All right, let me just run it through my mind. Let's see, if I'm moving and I'm wrong, I'll probably just fucking quit. That's not much fun, is it? On the other hand, the Warriors are playing, so that's okay. You have a 6, Jungle Man. I was wrong against Nick. I'm not wrong too often. What the fuck? Mickey, what do you have, Mickey?
He looks at his stack of roughly 16,000 remaining and decides he is pot committed. Perhaps he puts Jungleman on a draw or a smaller pair like 8s or 9s. In a move born of frustration and a refusal to be pushed around.
Fuck, I just don't believe you, Jungle. All right,
I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you, and unfortunately for Phil Hellmuth, he is drawing dead to 2 outs.
All right, 2 times.
Ugh.
Don't do me dirty now. I already trusted you.
What the fuck is going on here? What do you have? 10s?
No. Shooter private.
Only a jack will save Phil Hellmuth now. Otherwise, his second buy-in will be gone as well. And that is not a jack, my friends, 9 of diamonds.
Phil, you're a bro.
Fair, man. Fuck, this is not much fun. Where's my phone?